Bezrat Hashem, the Gemara this morning, Pessachim, page 50b. Arve Pessachim, Ereve Shabbatot, Ve'arve Yom Tovim, Nami. You're not allowed to work Erev Shabbat, Erev Chag, and Erev Pesach. Which means, before Shabbat, there's a certain time where you cannot work anymore. You must come to your house. The Tanya, like we learned, Aoseh melacha be'arve Shabbatot ve'yamim tovim min ha'mincha ve'lamala, eno roeh simam bracha le'olam. Somebody works. After this certain time, we're going to define soon, right, Erev Shabbat or Erev Chag, is never going to see beracha in the money that he's going to gain that moment. Which is this moment? According to our sages, 2 hours before Shabbat, 2 hours before Chag. You have to get inside. You have to get to your house. Maybe there's going to be traffic. You have to prepare certain things. Maybe there's something to buy still. Always the last minute you have to run, right? You have to leave yourself enough time so you could be ready for Shabbat and ready for the Chag. Anything that you're going to gain during these 2 hours before Shabbat, before Chag, has no beracha, has no blessing. You're going to lose this money. So it's not worth it to work for it. Now, this is the maximum, right? But you can stop before, right? Some people stop already working 3-4 hours before Shabbat. But each one according to his possibilities. But 2 hours is the maximum you can go at work. So the Gemara is asking, why are you talking about Erev Shabbat and Erev Chag? And Erev Pesach, also there is a prohibition to work just before the Chag. The Gemara says, no, Erev Pesach is different. By Erev Pesach, people will get even punished by the Sanhedrin, by the rabbis. Why? Because Erev Pesach is very special. Erev Pesach, people would go to the temple to bring the sacrifice already at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Imagine, millions of people, they have to come to the Beit HaMikdash and to bring their sacrifices, right? So there's so much to do, and there is a lineup, and you have to go inside. So there, it's something special. Until today, the halakha says by 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you cannot work anymore. You cannot do anything anymore. You have to go home and prepare for Pesach. Prepare your matzot, prepare your wine, go to the mikveh, do all kinds of the last preparation before Pesach, because Pesach is a very big holiday. But Shabbat, Erev Shabbat, and Erev Chag also, but it's not Chatzot. You can go up to 2 hours before. Then the Gemara is telling us, since we're speaking about already money that has no blessing, Tanura Banan, Kotzetsei Lanot Tovot, somebody who cuts good trees has no Siman Beracha, means he has no blessing in his money. What does it mean? You know that we cannot cut fruit trees, right? Not only we cannot, it's dangerous. The Gemara explains there was one rabbi, he said that one time he cut a fruit tree, and because of that he lost, unfortunately, one of his sons. It's very dangerous to touch a fruit tree. A fruit tree has an neshama like a person, like a man, and if you cut it off, it's like you killed somebody. So it's very dangerous. Therefore, let's say you want to build a pool in your backyard, and then right in the middle, smack in the middle of the backyard, there's a fruit tree. You're going to have a problem. You better address yourself to a rabbi. Sometimes, very rare, there's some permissions, but as a general rule, you never touch a fruit tree. Even just to arrange the branches. Let's say you want to cut off some branches, right? Not to cut the tree, just few branches. Don't do it by yourself. Call your gardener, a non-Jew gardener. Let him touch it, right? But you never touch a fruit tree. Fruit tree is something that you don't mess with. And in the olden days, some people had like this type of profession to cut trees, and they would cut any kind of tree, fruit trees or regular trees. But the Gemara says those people never had a blessing by cutting off trees. If you don't have to cut a tree, even if it's not a fruit tree, don't touch it, right? A tree is a blessing, right? But if you have to, and it's not a fruit tree, you'll be allowed. But a fruit tree, as we said previously, you don't mess with, you don't touch it. The Gemara this morning continues teaching us there's another type of money that you gain which has no blessing. Schar kotvim. The ones who sit and write mezuzot and write Sefer Torah. They gain money, but they have no blessing in their money. And why is that? Amar Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi, 24 ta'aniyot, 24 fasts. Anshe yashvu al Knesset Gedolah, the big rabbis of Anshe Knesset Gedolah, right, of the big assembly, said we're fasting 24 fasts. So al kotvei sfarim tefillin mezuzot shelo yitashru. They made like prayers, so those people write Sefer Torah and mezuzot should not get rich. Why? Shilmalim etashrim and kotvim. Because if those people become rich, they wouldn't want to sit and write anymore. And you know how many mezuzahs Am Yisrael needs? Every time you move to a new house, or every time you found the mezuzah is not kosher, you need mezuzot, you need tefillin, you need Sefer Torah. There's so much on demand. And if those people get rich, they wouldn't want to work anymore. So they prayed for them. They should not get rich. They should be okay. They would gain their money bechavod, right, with dignity. They should have money, but they cannot become rich out of this profession. So they should always want to write more and more and more and supply us with mezuzot, sifrei Torah, and tefillin. Have a great day. Baruch Adonai le'olam. Amen v'amen.